Hello friends, in this video we will talk about WeakMap and WeakSet. It is important to see these topics. These are the basic data structures in almost all the programming language, but in this video we will talk about from the perspective of JavaScript. These are alternative of map and set, but for particular use case. So in this video we will talk about what are the use cases and why they are needed and how we can use them. We will first see what are maps and set. Map is a data structure for storing key and value. For example, you need some way, for example, take an example, let's say name versus address, right? So in a college, your name and your address has to be stored, which can be accessed in a fast way, which is a O1 operation. Then I think we can use map. So for example, we have a BK and then its address, right? Or we can have some other person, John, right? Then its address, and we fetch these numbers or these key value pair. Then we can use, this is the map data structure, then map dot get some key. It will return its address, okay? And then map has its own function like set, which will take key and value, and some other functions like it can get entries, which will return tuples, and basically these as an array key value, right? All the entries which are existing in this map. So map is a basic data structure which is used for any use cases for hashing, and O1 operation is required for finding that particular element, and for like inserting the elements there are different algorithms. So if it is based on proper hash map, then it is O1, or if it is let's say implemented internally using the red black tree or some AVL tree, then its complexity will be O log of n, okay? So this is all about the data structure of map, but let's look why we require this WeakMap and WeakSet. So we will talk first the reason of why we are using WeakMap. So most of the languages like JavaScript, Java, Python, all these have a garbage collector, and the role of this garbage collector is it will clean up the memory of the variables which are not used or not referenced by anything. So for example, here you have this map which is pointing to this particular. If we make this map equal to null, right, then what will happen to this memory? This will be cleaned up automatically by the garbage collector, and when the garbage collector runs, it is not dependent on the programmer but dependent on JavaScript engine. If we talk about JavaScript, then it will run after a period of time, and it will collect all the memory, so that that particular memory can be used by other objects or other variables that we will create. So we have looked what is the garbage collector and how it is functioning. Let's take a look at WeakMap use case to build the context. So consider there is a map which has a key called, let's say, some object. An object you can consider of any JavaScript object having some keys, and this is pointing to some, let's say, some other object. So in the memory it will look like this: obj obj2. Okay, now what if I delete this particular object? Okay, or I just after this particular context, right, this obj will be cleaned up. Now, but obj2 will not be cleaned up. Why? Because it is referenced in the map and even the obj. So map has the references of these two objects. So internally, garbage collector GC, what it will check? It will check, okay, obj, now it's not a valid basically a valid handle for an object, but this object and obj and obj2 are lying in memory and it is referenced in the map, and the scope of this is not yet out. So these two variables will be existing and taking up memory at a runtime, right? But they are not needed, so this will have a memory leak, right? And it will increase the requirement of memory during the runtime. If such use cases exist, then we have developed a data structure of WeakMap and WeakSet. So I'll talk first map and then WeakSet is similar. So in map, what happened? WeakMap, this WeakMap will clean up automatically these basically these objects in case there is no other proper handle of this obj and obj2, right? So let's say when obj is handle is invalid because it is lying in some scope, then WeakMap itself clean up these things in the next iteration when the garbage collector runs. Okay. So this is the proper use case of WeakMap. It will help you in using the less memory at the runtime, and in such use cases where the object's requirement is done, it's not needed no longer, but their references in the map or set basically keep them in memory. And one use case, let's consider one example where this can be used is caching. So for example, you are creating a cache in a program, and that program is containing a key value pair, but your key is now no longer needed, it's deleted. Then that cache entry will remain there, right? And you have to it will pick up more memory, and your cache will be automatically lying in the memory, and those keys and value in memory will be cleaned up only when the cache cleanup happens, or if cache had to add one more element and there is no space, then cache logic algorithm will remove some other elements. Okay, so we have seen one use case. Let's talk about what are the functionality exist in WeakMap and WeakSet. So there are a few limitations in WeakMap. First limitation is the objects. The keys can be only the objects. Keys will always be objects. It cannot contain the basic data structures or basic primitive types. For example, string, boolean. In normal map, however, you can store these primitive data types as keys and objects, right? Yeah. And the other limitation is WeakMap don't have all the functionality, all the functions basically which map has. For example, map has get, set, has, and get entries, right? But this WeakMap has a limited functionality methods like set. You can set an element, you can get the element, and you can check if there exists using the has function. Get, set, and has. Okay. So I hope you got the idea of WeakMap. And similarly, we have the set. In set, we store only the keys. It's a collection of keys. which can be searched, we can check if there is any element existing or not, right? However, like if we store the objects in that set, but we delete this object, but the set will not allow to delete that particular object by the garbage collector because it has a reference. So in such use cases, we will use WeakSet. And WeakSet are very helpful when you are doing your programming, especially in dealing with bigger objects, because bigger objects take a lot of memory, and if they can pile up a lot of memory and your process can crash if there is a over usage of memory. So to become a very good programmer, you should have a good understanding, grasp on these latest concepts of WeakMap and WeakSet. And these, however, exist in all the programming language. Little details may change, but what I have explained from the perspective of JavaScript. So I hope if you like this video, please share with your friends and let me know in the comment section what are the different things that you have understood, because when you write it, it stays with you. So this is BK from Anikka signing off for this video, and we will meet in our next video.